Everyone, welcome to this pre-recorded live um, on the Valiant Unicorn YouTube channel, where I promote self-love and creativity. And if you follow the channel, you know I'm from a polygamous cult known as the Order. My family had one dad and 14 wives or moms, and then there was like 163 kids in total. Because this season is you're probably dealing with seasonal depression. I know I am, and so I'm gonna be trauma dumping this video. So if you don't want to stick around for that, just head out. I never want it to be. I want it to be mutually beneficial. So if it's not, then just head out and no hurt feelings, honestly. So I was gonna just start with telling you some like my best Christmases and my worst ones, or maybe just an embarrassing story. I'll start off with that. I'll start with an embarrassing story for Christmas. So there was one Christmas where it was my first Christmas out of the Order, and I had a boyfriend at the time. I was going to Job Corps. I don't know if you guys know what Job Corps is, but it's like a government paid school where you can get like a trade and your high school diploma. And so I was on Christmas break, so I went to my boyfriend's house, and um, I had used Nair. There's like Nair for men. It's like it removes hair, right? So it's like a foam or whatever. You put it on, leave it on for 10 minutes, and then you just like get a wet cloth and it's supposed to wipe off your hair. But it didn't go as planned, because what had happened was, and this is embarrassing, but I used it in places I shouldn't have. And I left it there too long. So basically, I had like a scab for a sack. It was just a scab, basically. And so yeah, I had like ointment on my balls, and then I had to. Wow, this is way too much information. I guess if you know me, there's always way too much information. TMI always. So yeah. But for like 4 days, I couldn't hardly walk straight. I had like ointment. Luckily, I didn't have to go anywhere. So I just put like some ointment on it and healed it up. But yeah, that was probably the most embarrassing Christmas story. I don't know that very many people knew. I mean, my boyfriend at the time knew about that, and I didn't really share that story. Obviously, it was embarrassing, but I'm pretty open book for the most part. That's where I've actually taken a break from YouTube, because there has been things that I want to share, but they're like not, they involve other people that I care about, and not everyone is as open and public about their their situations or their life. But I don't really care most of the time. I don't really feel like I have anything to hide. But I want to respect other people while at the same time respecting myself and sharing what I need to share. So yeah, this is like a therapy session, and for me, and I thank you guys so much for those of you who have followed me on my healing journey, and any of you that are alone on Christmas. I want to tell you that being alone on Christmas is not it's by far not the worst kind of Christmas you can have. And I also want to say, like, enjoy the good, like the good and bad in everything, right? If you have someone, if you're around family, there's a lot of good in that. So don't like be like, oh, I wish I was alone either. But my advice is basically, I've learned to enjoy like being single, being alone, being with people, being in a partnership or relationship, just finding the joy in the situation you're at now, and while working towards the situation you want to be in later. But because there was one Christmas I was all by myself, and I remember, because I wasn't in the Order anymore, and I wasn't talking to family, and I wasn't in a relationship. so I just bartended for Christmas Eve. And for the most part, it was just like any other day. And in fact, I wasn't really shy. Like, I wasn't really sad about anything until somebody, like my boss, had pointed out. He had asked about, oh, am I allowed to go back home for Christmas? And I was like, oh, no, not at all. And for like a minute, like less than a minute, that was the only sad part, was like acknowledging that, right? Because the rest of the time I was just like, it's just a normal day. I'm just going to work. But yeah, so hopefully you're home. This is the type of video that you can just listen to. You don't have to watch my awkwardness. You can just listen while you're folding clothes, or maybe you're alone for Christmas and this is like us hanging out. And that's what I want it to feel like, is just us hanging out. And leave in the comments. I want to hear about your embarrassing Christmas stories, or worst Christmas, or best Christmas memories. Just leave it down in the comments. I will read all the comments. This is a pre-recorded live because I'm going to be very open and honest about things, and I want to edit out anything that could be hurting someone that I don't want to hurt, right? But here comes my worst Christmas story, and it was during COVID. So during COVID, then I had 3 siblings move in with me. So I had 2 siblings still from me. So anyways, there was a lot that happened. COVID, in my mind, I was like, oh, this is a time that we can have family. We should get together and support each other. And so I had let 3 of them move in with me. And that was a lot of people in my house. And then there was a lot of support, like money being borrowed or things being stolen from even ones that didn't live with me. So there was a falling out with a lot of my siblings. And it was a time that I actually had to go to therapy. It's like, because my first therapy session there, she was like, it sounds like you don't have very good boundaries. And I thought I had really good boundaries. Like, I was really, but I was really rigid. I kind of had, and she used this analogy, like your boundaries is like your house, and you have people that are out on the street and on the sidewalk, and they don't come into your yard or whatever. And then there's some people that are welcome to go into your yard, but they don't come into the house. People that can go up to the porch, but that don't go in, or they'll come into the house, they don't go into your room. There's like layers, right? And that's where she was pointing out that with normal people, I was doing okay with boundaries. But with my family, when it came to them, it was like I didn't, all doors wide open, and there was no boundaries. I just let them do anything they wanted. So she was helping me work through some of that stuff. And through this, I guess long story short, my mom has 12 kids. Of the 12 kids, I talked to 5, and that's counting myself. So if we took that away, I only talked to 4 of my 12 siblings to this day. And that's not because I don't love them. I do love all of my siblings. It's just, for whatever reason, whether it be a boundary that they've established, one that I've established, or just for whatever reasons, we do not talk. And that was a really hard year for me, because that Christmas was when I realized I needed to set some boundaries. I was like, I don't want to draw names because I don't want to risk getting certain people. I don't want to, I want them to have, like, when I love someone, I will always love them. Okay. So despite anything that happens, I will always love them. And my one rule in my relationships is we don't hurt each other deliberately. So I don't want to hurt someone deliberately. And for that to happen, sometimes that means stay out of my life. Because I have the Kingston temper, and there's been like I'll just throw some names. Maybe you know Daniel, which is my father. Stories of him, anyways, because he's yet to be on anybody's channel. That would be interesting to have him, right? Um, yeah, that would be interesting. Or Jesse, we've heard rumors of his temper and that it could take a life. So we've heard rumors, but yeah, I don't want to like say too much, and that's why I want to just respect these people. But I know for a fact that the relationship wasn't serving us, either one of us, in a healthy manner. So for us to both grow, and to be honest, I'm not the one that like initially was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you in my life, because, but they was. But today, I would definitely agree, because yeah, I would definitely agree that like I don't want you in my life and you don't want me in your life. Basically, maybe I'm a bit childish, but if I'm in a relationship, I don't want to change you. I'm not trying to change you, and I don't want you to try to change me. So I'm going to either enjoy the relationship and the person that you are and that you're being, or I'm not going to be in the relationship, because I'm not going to change you or try to change you. I'm there to love you and be a part of your life, and you a part of mine. And if it's not healthy for whatever reason, like even as you as a viewer, don't watch my channel. Like don't be here. I hope that we can be mutually beneficial to each other, and that we can enjoy each other's company. And I wish the best for all my siblings. I really do. I hope that I I really do wish the best for all of them, as long as it's not at like my detriment, or that they're not taking from me to get to where they need to be, right? So yeah, for boundaries reasons and respecting their boundaries, they're not in my life. I have 4 siblings, and I know it's hard for my mom too, because she has I don't really know if that number is accurate to hers. She probably has more of her children who talk to her, but I think it fluctuates because she does let them come back into her life. Like there's an interview I did with her. I'll leave it down in the description box. That she says they know where I'm at. They can come find me if they need me. I don't care if my siblings know where I'm at. They don't get to come find me. Some of them have burnt bridges to where I don't care. They can be anywhere but here. They can't live with me. I can't be there to help them. We're all adults now. And let's cut off this trauma bond, and it ends with us, like that movie on Netflix. If you guys have seen that, oh my gosh, I have so much to say about it, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone. To them about it. And I won't spoil anything for you guys. Just go watch it on Netflix. If you feel like crying or being triggered, it'll probably trigger a few of you. I know it did with me, but I'm kind of weird. I kind of like, that's why I'm trauma dumping, right? I kind of go to these dark places and acknowledge them. And one person did get really mad at me. I did an interview with Julie about advanced copy, and I'll leave that down there as well. But after that interview, someone reached out and they're like, why can't you guys just move on? And I'm like, well, I did. That was my plan when I left the order, that polygamous cult. And I didn't even call it a cult at the time. I still believed a lot of the things. It was kind of hard for me, but to transition into normal society. But at the same time, I was like, no, I'm normal. I moved on. I've done everything that's normal, like that show, like Kimmy Schmidt on Netflix, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That is so good. It was like, oh, it just describes like that first season is like my first year out of the cult, right? And that reached out to me. That's like, why can't you guys just move on? I did do that for 10 years. I didn't talk publicly about any of this. I didn't even acknowledge it within myself. And there is like there's like I have to acknowledge it to heal, right? Maybe I don't have to share with the world, but I have put myself out there, and a lot of you, I call you guys goddamn unicorns, because a lot of you unicorns have supported me in my creativity and my hobbies, which was it's been fun making soap and stuff. And I don't really make money at it, but the ones that have bought from me, they really do help me continue this art form. And it's been really quite a healing experience. That something about art is that you don't have to be good at it to get the therapeutic benefits of it. So I don't know if any of you guys draw or anything, but you don't have to be good at it to have it have healthy benefits to your psyche. All I have to say to that person that says move on with your life and don't talk about the order, I'll tell them, you move on with your life and don't talk about the order. See what that's like. See what that does for you. Some of us have to talk to heal and to process and to grow, and we have to acknowledge what it was that we went through to move on. And if you can't respect that, it doesn't matter. You're not in my life. So I wish you the best from a distance, like from over there. Stay away. But yeah, so that was probably my worst Christmas. I didn't really go into a lot of detail on, I don't want to hurt anyone. That's the thing, is like, I'm very open, and I could easily just say anything and I would when it's my story, but I don't want it to hurt anyone. So I will just love that sister for the rest of my life and not have her in it. But I do have some trauma dump on that, because there was one year, I've really only ever had one Christmas that I was alone, because I did have this sister that was, I would go to Vegas to go see her for Thanksgiving, spend Thanksgiving with her, or other holidays. She was my favorite person in the whole world. And for whatever, like for things, life's events, life challenges, and the goddess of chaos or whatever came into our lives and just ripped us apart. And whether it was a trauma bond, whether that relationship was healthy, I don't know, but it ended. And in the ending of that relationship, I discovered Amanda's a good friend, and me and Amanda connected, and we became friends. So I will always love that sister, and I will always respect her choices. It's what I need. I'm sorry, I'm just a very open book, and there's no way that I'm not going to be sharing my story and how hard it was to cut someone out of my life. And actually, I didn't cut them out. They cut me out. But today I would call it mutual, because I'm an adult, and if someone says they don't want me in their life, and that's their honest, and that's their truth, and they're just being honest, I need to be adult enough to handle that truth. And today my truth is, well, it's mutual then. I mean, what I enjoyed the relationship, and when I don't see how I would enjoy that relationship now. And if I'm not going to enjoy a relationship, I don't need it. And if that's childish, I don't care. I'm not going to be in a relationship I don't enjoy. So, with love and respect for me and for you, I wish you the best. Yeah. Wow, that was dark. But yeah, only one Christmas ever has been alone. So today I've shared with you one embarrassing story. There's every story is TMI. I kind of told Amanda that it's like we've established that everything I say is TMI. Okay, so but I do try to keep it monetizable on YouTube and respectful. Oh my god, am I a whiny baby or what? Well, anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me on this holiday. I hope it was not too painful. Thanks for letting me trauma dump and for joining me on my healing journey. I don't really have anything else to say this time. Hope you enjoyed this pre-recorded live and that you join me for many more to come. Love you guys. Bye-bye.